Aha, we are live. Go away, Discord. I swear, when it updated, I don't actually mind the new UI so much, but it re-enabled its overlay thing, and it pops up at me every time I start something. And I would like it to not do that. So, where were we? Yes. We are in the Temple of Elemental Evil. So, for anyone who was here on Tuesday, we tried to do the boss part of the Upper Temple on R6, and we failed pretty hard. Now, one reason we failed is we tried to put on Spell Absorb, and it simply just did not work. It didn't work. It all got eaten up pretty much immediately. So when I went back to look at what happened to it, like what was he casting that ate it all up? I actually found an answer to it. And the answer is his fire shield. Every time I hit him, I get hit with fire shield. And that counts as a spell for spell absorb. So going in 2-weapon fighting means I basically shred my own spell absorb. So that's one problem. The other problems stem from which spells he casts. So he has a couple of spells available to him. One of those spells is something I've only seen in the Temple of Elemental Evil. I know he has it, I know Zargathmoy has it. It's sort of like an elemental blast thing. And what that does is it basically hits you with all 4 elements for a chunk of damage of each. He also, and there's no way to avoid it as far as I know, besides maybe Spell Absorb. He also casts Lightning Bolt and Polar Ray, both of which can be avoided by strafing, but I was not strafing, so I got hit by those. He also casts Delay Blast Fireball. And the other thing we learned on our second attempt is that we actually need Brace on in order to no-fail that save on a 1. So we have the not automatically failing on rolling a 1, but if your roll on a 1 is low enough, you still fail. So I still actually need that, because apparently my reflex saves are pretty bad. And yeah, that's pretty bad. Do I even have extra spell saves? Yeah, I only have like +3 to spell saves. So I don't even have spell saves slotted anywhere, which is another reason why that's problematic. So that's probably going to come back to bite me here in a minute as well. So yeah, Lightning Bolt and Polar Ray can be dodged by strafing. Delay Blast Fireball can sometimes, the Elemental Blast cannot. And the other problem is, as I mentioned, the fact that Spell Absorb just gets absolutely annihilated by the Fire Shield. So what are we doing to combat this? Well, we have a couple options. And you know what? We can talk about them on the way because, you know, the trash was not particularly difficult. So we're going to try again on R6. And maybe we'll get unlucky and get a bunch of high-level Reapers and we'll all die. But hopefully that's not what happens. So let's just move this over here where we want it. There we go. And yeah, so
the strong wind
we have a couple things going for us. One, if you look up top, off stream, I ground a little bit of rep. So we now have, for the next 20-ish, 30-ish minutes, we have House P buffs. So we have more flat resists, which is good. When we are in melee, his Fire Shield deals cold damage. So we're going to keep our Cloak of Winter on because it has Cold Absorb on it.
Now, the air temple is in disarray, and orcs have taken over these quarters.
So we're not even going to try to use Spell Absorb, at least in the beginning. That's a Despair Reaper. Hi, look at me and follow me. Ew. Bluff. I failed the bluff. Okay, so Despair got aggroed or not? Because I got a debuff. Okay, alright, fine. What do you mean wrong weapon type? Ah, my mistake. I had put on my my throw instead of my melee weapon ability. Alright, so Assassinate is, for some reason, working, even though the DC on it is awful in R6. Like, 78 is pretty bad. Now, one thing I could do here is actually swap to this while trying to Assassinate, even though it's a heroic piece. So our Assassinate goes up to 88. Oh, nope, didn't work. Back to this one. Wait, did he not see me? I just hit him, but he still doesn't see me. Alright, let's try again. He seems very confused, actually. Okay, we're going to turn the game sound down a little bit. I noticed that it was kind of competing with me when I rewatched my my VOD from Tuesday. Okay. This is not what I expected, not how I thought this would go, but if it insists on letting my assassinate work... yeah, screw it. There we go. It's much faster for guys that I'm not actually scared of. I'm also going to be trying Quick Cutter instead of the Shadow Dancer Epic Strike for this, which is not what I was doing before, and we'll see how that goes as well. Oh, yeah, we need to put displacement back up.
A man in air temple robes stands huddled in the corner of this cold, dark room.
Why must I fail saves on important things? Alright, I should have hit improved uncanny dodge earlier. That's on me. Wait, why did my heal not, like, land? Odd that he didn't give me that big an issue last time I did this. The problem here is going to be getting to a shrine after we gibbers. Now, you'll remember, if you were here on Tuesday, that I actually said I might expect this guy to be more difficult than the end boss, just because he's got a lot of health and he hits ridiculously hard. But we will find out here in a minute. Alright. Our Reaper debuff is worn off. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay. We can come back to do the rune, but for now, I'm going to try to get to the Fire Temple. The main problem is going to be whether or not I can get through the doors before this dot ticks on me, and I don't think I'll be able to get there in time. $16, $14, okay. Maybe we will get there in time, but it really depends on if the dot interrupts getting through the door.
This chamber is much warmer than the other. Come in.
All right. We made it to the shrine, and there's a Vengeance Reaper here, so that's not ideal. But okay. We might die one or two more times clearing this group so that we can actually, you know, rest at the shrine. But that is a risk that we'll just have to take. I was not planning on, it's like, oh, well, I gotta make it a deathless run. So. Alright. we go. Excellent. I don't even think we have to rest at the shrine now. We'll just come over here, spend our money.
On the altar sits a small, cracked basin.
Hi, have money. Thank you.
Tribute honors us.
Now we do have to go back to the air temple in order to do the thing, and in this case, the thing
To fire,
is to,
die in
oh wait, I have the wrong necklace on. Or goggles, rather? No, I have them on, okay. I guess they just haven't procced, or I haven't noticed that they procced. Ooh, there's a shrine. That's going to be helpful. Or an altar, rather, I should say. Getting one of those makes a big difference in damage, so it might be somewhat cheating to use it, but we'll see about it. Okay. Activating the air rune.
On the wall
And I am glad that I delayed doing this because
in the shape of a key.
we only had like 5-ish seconds to spare getting to that shrine, so now we just have to go down below, grab the key, D-door out, then we go get the water key, D-door out, and we're on our way to the boss. So the strategy that I'm planning to use for the boss is to put on Spell Absorb,
The air temple key sits
and while we have Spell Absorb on, we're going to engage in...
note next to it reads,
I meant to
be
click the
used
key.
with Kelno's
And while we have
express
Spell Absorb
permission
on...
only. No exceptions.
Thank you.
The winds circling the room rush
We'll
faster
engage in
as the
ranged
key
combat.
is taken from the altar.
So and because the fire shield doesn't hit you when you're ranged, it should then only absorb the big spells that hit us. So that's going to be a bit of a battle of attrition. And once we run out of spell absorb charges, then we will go into melee. Now, one big downside of us dying there is that we lost our house P buffs, so we no longer have our extra resists, which is going to hurt us a lot when it comes time for that fire shield that hits us for like 40 to 50 every time we hit him.
As you fill the pool, the barrier disappears.
So that's going to just be something that we have to overcome now.
Pray softly in this small chamber. A small piece of metal.
And we'll wait a moment because our dimension door is on cooldown. Apparently on a longer cooldown than I thought. But in the meantime, we can talk a little bit about gear swaps. So we did put on our Myth Draenor eyes, so we do have the enhanced blood rage now, even though it hasn't procced for us. We did put in the solar gem of dodge to make up for the dodge we lost by taking off our bracers. And we put this on to get us the speed to compensate us for losing speed here, so we didn't lose that. But that's the only gear swaps we've had. Also, we were planning to swap this out, the Lionheart ring, for the boss fight, because it'll give us a set bonus, which will bring us up to
The room begins to shake, and a
100
appears at the
magic
entrance
resist
to the
rating.
chamber.
So we'll go from 70 to 100, which is 15%. So we do lose a bunch of damage from that ring swap, from not having the bound elemental ring of acid, but it is probably worth it. I'm not 100% sure. Go. Wait, is that another altar? No, it's a carpet. And this is, as we mentioned before, the downside is that, if you noticed, none of them got turned to gold because they all are immune to it, which is unfortunate, but it's just how it's going to be. Oh, our neck did finally proc. The good news is that when it procs, the proc lasts 2 minutes, so it's very handy.
The 4 barriers dispatched.
So with Geico,
Way
we
into
can
Fall
easily
Rinse
bundle home and
chambers.
car insurance and save even more?
Yeah, home, car, motorcycle, all bundled together. Just like that breakfast burrito.
So can I get chorizo?
Yeah, metaphorically, yeah.
Carnitas.
Just chicken. Just
Stop.
give me a bunch of chicken.
Oh, bacon?
Oh wait, there isn't too much hot sauce.
Stupid background music. Wait, they trip too? Since when? Like, I knew I had to watch out for the stunning gaze. I don't think I've ever been tripped by them before. I'm gonna move this here for single target fights. Okay. Well, that was kind of an unexpected test there. No guys there. We are going to actually rest at the shrine, if nothing else, to get our charges back on our action boosts. This does mean that we can't use this shrine again for resting if we need to, like, try to Gibbers and Dimension Door, but we've got, like, 17 minutes left on our Gibbers cooldown, so that's not going to be an issue. If we die, we're not going to reset quite that much. To be like, nah, we're just going to wait here dead for the next 15 minutes. That's just not something I want to do, and it's not something I think anyone would want to watch either. So we will avoid doing that sort of thing.
I know why you have come.
His voice.
But you're too late. Using the arcane power of the page.
Yes, yes, just summon your elementals already.
Is nearly free. Makes a gesture. Elemental.
Yeah, well, the knockdown from the air elemental I was expecting. And that's just kind of known and expected. And after we kill the water elemental, we can pull this whole group over into the water area. Unfortunately, once 2 die, Critch gets summoned.
Take care of them.
Go, air down. Earth down. Creech did not see us over here. Okay, he hits for 800, but it's not that big a deal. Because he only hit us once, and he was crowd controlled the rest of the time. So, as we mentioned earlier, the plan for what to do. We swap to a ranged weapon. We swap to Spell Absorb. We're not going to swap our MRR swap yet, because it does not matter. Because we have Spell Absorb on at the moment. We will do these, and these. And now, let's see how this goes. We don't have any ranged feats. All we have is one ranged active ability. Oh right, that's the other ability he has. The Black Dragon Bolt, which you can also dodge by strafing. But as you can see, our Spell Absorb charges are being much more effective this time because he's only burned 2 of them so far, because we're strafing and avoiding them the rest of the time. Oh, never mind. His magic missile ability thing did take 4 in one shot. Or maybe we were immune to magic missiles as expected, and that was the elemental attack that I talked about earlier. Alright, we're down to 9. Down to 5. Helps if we can actually hit him. Still at 5. Get our defensive tumble going. And we're at 0. Okay. Weapon swap. Ring swap. Ability swap. Okay. So we took out 40,000 with that little stunt. Now it's time for the rest. What? No, it's not. I swear to God, interface. I try to attack him and you're like, oh, hi. Would you like to open this chest? No. No, I would not like to open the chest. I'm fighting a dude right now, thank you very much. Hope we go over here and attempt to do something. Alright, we need to swap this back. Okay. What I want to do is I want to wait for my... What? No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Stop it, game. Enhancements. Ice Choke Poison. Go there. Thank you. Alright, that's what we wanted. A little bit of healing. Alright, so he's down to 20k. These only heal me for 50 each. Okay, that's not a lot. But, you know, we'll get up to about half health. We're not going to sit here in a corner waiting for our absolute max health just because it's going to take forever if we do. Alright. I think we'll do one more shout. Oh good. The chest won't be here to get accidentally clicked on anymore. As you can see, he casts Lightning Bolt, and there's a Polar Ray, and there's a Lightning Bolt, and there's the Black Dragon Bolt. Alright. And there we go. We are now sneaking again. We are very sneaky. And we'll put this over here so we can look at our debuffs. I swear to God, Fallen. This whole fight, the interface and the game, like, interface has been messing with me. Well, it looks like I didn't need to spend quite so long screwing around over in the corner, healing up just in case. It worked out for us, so that's our 6. Which means, as we said on Tuesday, we're going to go up by 2s until we can't do it anymore, which means next attempt is R8.
On a table in the middle of the room. If Falrinth's journal is to be believed, the demon
maybe I'm selling myself short with attempt. The next clear is R8. What is it? I know you said, like, at the very end of last stream that you had looked at a couple different potential gear sets, but, it was 1 a.m. here, so I wasn't really available. Chicken butt is also an acceptable answer, yes. Okay, it is not useful. But okay, so that's our 6. Alright, and before our R8 attempt, we're going to go to House P and get P buffs. Because one of the biggest things that we were taking damage from, at least before we employed this this strategy, was we were taking a lot of damage from Fire Shield. So the extra flat resist should be, we'll say, at least moderately effective. But yeah, the only gear swaps I did from last time are... I mean, I do, but they're not useful. I went back at the VOD and looked at what was eating them, and what eats them is the Fire Shield. So putting on more Spell Absorb sources isn't going to do anything when it's eating a charge every time I hit him. So, unfortunately, Spell Absorb melee is not very useful. Because I was wondering what was eating all the charges. So I went back and I looked, and it's just like, ah, I see. Well then. So yeah, I said this before I started the fight, but I went back and I looked at the spells he has too. So I'm doing the execution of the fight differently now. Because the spells he casts, he has Black Dragon Bolt, which can be dodged by strafing. He has Lightning Bolt, which can be dodged by strafing. He has Delay Blast Fireball, which can be dodged by strafing if you're far enough away. And he has Polar Ray, which can be dodged by strafing if you're far enough away. Actually, you can dodge that one close up as well. And he also has the Temple of Elemental Evil special attack thing that both he and Zugathmoy have. That's like an elemental blast. I'm assuming it's Hellball if Hellball was decent. But it hits you with all 4 elements for a good chunk of damage of each. I think with, like, when I had 70 MRR, it was hitting me for 500 to 700 per element. So a total of just over 2k. So that's the big burst to look out for. But yeah. And those are the spells that he casts. So what I'm doing now, since it appears that you have just dropped in and weren't there for the R6 kill, is I'm putting on Spell Absorb and engaging from range to kind of chip him down. And then we go into melee with a couple gear swaps to see what we can do. Just mildly sauce. So, by sauce, I'm assuming we're talking, how difficult is it to get? Like, how much farming do you need? Like, we have full raid gear and full set augments made from raid gear, and so on and so forth. In which case, that's nice to think about, but I am definitely not staying at cap long enough, on this character long enough, for that to be useful. Just, it's not a thing. So, definitely not dripping with sauce. Like, as far as gear that I already have, I have a decent number of the older raid pieces. I have pretty much everything that Sharn can offer me. I have Sharn, pretty much all of it. Feywild, all of it. Pretty much all the Fey Twisted stuff. I have almost no Vecna, very little Myth Draenor. What other packs are up here? Let's see. I have some of the rings from here. I'm missing the ranged ring, but I have some of the other ones from the Illithid quests. I've got a random smattering of raid gear. Yeah. Wait, I know there's more stuff here. Sorting by the wrong thing. Covered Culvert isn't out yet. That doesn't come out for like 2 weeks, I think. Enemy of my enemy. Yeah, this is... Yeah. Soul of Ice, eh? You guys have like weird AI. Oh, great. Them opening with power word stun is less than ideal. And also the other room opening is less than ideal. I was gonna use this for the boss, but we're gonna use it now. Like, it is epic moment time. I have accidentally pulled 2 packs. Including like 3 Reapers, I think? Oh boy, what was that? Soulless. Yeah, just straight up hit for 900. It's unfortunate that he managed to land like 3 hits in a row, especially given that I've got like, since I snuck in and that was still active and I used chains, I should have been at like 45% dodge chance. Yeah, it would be 34 plus like 10 from the sneak plus 5 from the chains. And I got hit for like 900 and then another 1200 and then another 900. Yeah, that's 850. Okay, well, the time has come. Let's see, our debuff is worn off. Let's see if we can get to a shrine. So I believe that it's going to be fastest to try to get to the fire shrine. Some of this depends on if there is a group of mobs in the way, but we'll find that out here in a moment. Alright, barely made it.
This chamber is much warmer than the outside.
So this is more what I remembered about trying to solo this place, was you really need to just not get hit, because if they hit you, it's going to take a third of your health. Alright, we made it to the res shrine. But we know... I didn't quite notice which kind of Reaper it was outside. It was a high level one. And I didn't see a big aura for despair, so it's vengeance, I think. Oh well, while we're here, we might as well pay them the money for our fire key.
On the altar sits a small, cracked basin.
Your tribute honors us.
The prefix says, bowing.
The angles, displacement, and we already shouted.
The need to fire or die in there.
Heal scrolls only landing for 180 something. Man, just these 2 levels counts for so much of a penalty to health. Let's see. Holy crap. Oh, it wasn't even a crit. Temple Guard hit you for 3,900 points of slash damage. I wonder which one it was. Which one of these has a power boost when they're at low health? Maybe it was the Pandemonium one? Alright, so we're going to have to reattempt this. And hopefully not get one shot. Or it might just be that R6 is the limit of what I can do on this build. Or perhaps that I simply have to get lucky. Because, like, I only have 200 PRR. Which is, you know, not terrible. But it's not really can take hits in R8 level good. Send me in House P. I'm gonna go get buffs again. So, let's see. It's good. Our death penalties are going away. Now we go to Marketplace and we can get back to... it would... You know, now that I think about it, it would have been faster to go from Airship to Gatekeeper's Grove. But hopefully we're not making this run that many times. We can just... Clearly, we'll just need to win next time. Just straight up. I mean, for what I'm doing, I was just thinking of like potential gear upgrades. And while there are a lot of better weapons as far as damage is concerned, for doing this particular kind of thing, it's hard to do better than Gold Cursed just for the crowd control that it offers. Although I believe the dagger out of the new Wayloon quests has an almost identical proc, except it's ice, not gold. Is Maw the one from, is Maw the raid one, or is Maw the, Kukri with guard breaking? I see.
The strong wind circulating this chamber.
Oh, threats old and new? Okay. I've run that quest so far once, so I don't exactly have a lot of runes floating around for it. This is what happens when I've spent the last while on racials. I haven't been at cap, like, since these new raids were released.
Once housed those faithful to the Air Temple. Now, the Air Temple is in disarray, and orcs have taken over these quarters.
Hey guys. Would it bother you terribly? If you could, you know, not kill me. Thank you. That depends on which raids. If it's new raids, then chances of me getting them before reincarnating this character are slim to none, because one from Killing Time? The Killing Time one I might have. I don't have enough runes for a Killing Time item, but I have a couple things floating around. I'm assuming you mean the Assassinate Ring out of Killing Time, if I had to just guess, and that one I don't currently have. Stormweaver gauntlets? I don't think I have a set of those. But I can check. I'm noticing a very large gap in the amount of gold curse procs I'm getting. So I forget if this particular set of orcs have freedom of movement, or if I'm just hitting the limit of what a DC 100 thing can do now that I'm in R8 instead of 6. But yeah, I don't think I have Stormweaver gauntlets. But there's a decent chance that I can run killing time. Alright, so this guy hits like an absolute truck.
A man in air temple robes stands, huddled in the corner of this cold, dark room.
Alright, so that is Despair and Doom. Let's see what we can kite. Will you teleport to me if I come through here? Hopefully you can. And then I can fight you separately from those others. Okay. Let's jump back through here and see what we can do. Right, well, there's our red named. We dealt a total of 20,000 because we saw Doom and Despair Reaper and we ran away. So, time to run away. Do we make it? We do. Okay. We are cheesing it. Oh boy. We're really feeling the healing penalty now that we're in R8. Oh wait, we might as well sneak. Gives us extra melee power. Actually, we're gonna hide out here and heal up because ads are about to start in like 10-15 seconds. So we're gonna toss over to the BRB screen and I'll see if I can heal up a little bit in 2.5 minutes and we'll go back to trying to kill this guy on the other side.
air temple falls to the ground. You search him carefully, but you don't find the air temple key on his person.
Thank you. I forgot that I put that up during ads. Okay, so the problem that we're currently dealing with is that we need to get this rune. And the reason that's a problem is that there's both a Doom and a Despair Reaper in there. Alright, so with Quick, I'm up to 48 dodge. Dimension Door bug them? Wait, where did they go? Oh, Doom's over there.
On the wall above this rune is a small etching in the shape of a key.
We're just gonna do this number. The old runaway trick. I don't know if it's a bug per se to Dimension Door and run away, but that is my intended strategy for both the Living Pool and this red named demon. Just like, alright, well, what are we gonna do? Well,
Sits behind a barrier.
we're gonna set up a Dimension Door,
A note next to it reads,
then we're gonna grab the key and
"Circling
run.
the room, rush faster as the key is taken from the altar."
When you D-door with a Reaper's aggro, it kills it? Really? That does sound like quite the bug. That is a lot of champs. Wait, I forget if this works or not. I got 2. Oh, because I had a bluff failure, I guess? Alright, so now they're all over here. Okay, well, at least the cultists aren't immune to getting turned into gold. So I kind of wasted improved uncanny dodge there. But,
This chamber is much warmer than the outside.
Come in, follower of faith.
A stern voice.
You're just in time.
okay, well, we barely lived through that, so that's something, I guess. Really, it's just Rocket Tag at this point. My only real defense here is the dodge,
Pay tribute.
which is another reason that I am trying out using a Quick Cutter instead of the Shadow Dancer one. Although really, if I wanted to keep using the Shadow Dancer one, what I'd really just do is I'd need to respec and use the Meld version. You know, take Meld into Darkness instead of the extra sneak attack damage. Stupid stone guards, resisting piercing damage. Alright. Grab some water. Hit the altar.
As you fill the pool,
And off we go.
the barrier disappears. Adherents of the water temple pray softly in this small chamber. A small piece of metal. The room begins to shake, and a shimmering wall
go.
appears at the entrance to the chamber.
That is all 3 keys gotten. Now, whether or not we can beat the elementals, Creech, and Falrinth is a separate question. Or, of course, if we get unlucky on the way there. So, you know. So I did look up the Stormweaver gauntlets during the ad break. Alright, so that's Plague and Despair. Nothing around the corner that'll aggro, though. Yoink. Do they interrupt me? No. Excellent. We have made our escape. And it looks like the main things on them are the Insightful Sheltering and the Vorpal Lightning proc. Unless I was missing something important. I think guys are about to attack me from behind.
More barriers
They are!
way into Falrin's chamber.
Is the proc that impactful, or it's just that you get most of your other stats elsewhere, so why not? It's like, is this like a, well, it's free damage, or is this like strong enough to build around? We're gonna do this. We do have deflect arrows, but it's not like super strong deflect arrows. Not as good as Miltfang, but good proc. Good because of the Insightful Sheltering, yeah. I forget where I have Insightful Sheltering on this set. I might not have it, because my normal place for it is on Bracers, and I have something else in Bracers on this set. Because I'll often slot in the bracers from the Firecaster set in Sharn. Because, well, it's Insightful Sheltering. Insightful Sheltering's good. And the other reason being that, it also, besides that, has, oh, what is the other stat? Has positive healing on it. I die to a dot. And now I won't have resists for the boss fight. Force damage over time, ticking for 850. Unfortunate. And the sad thing is, I killed the one that had put the dot on me already. Oh well, at least I don't have gibbers or anything, because we're right here by shrines. So I'll shrine, kill him. I was going to use the rest shrine anyway to get my haste boost charges back. So the real thing here is the loss of the P buffs, which is why I should just go and buy potions instead, so I can drink them like, right before I fight the boss, instead of... Oh, that was close. We were about to die to having temp health. I don't know if you saw it, but we had like 100 and something health and 200 temporary health. So we were about to go unconscious just by our temporary health wearing off. Right, this is the Arborian one. Go. Taken care of. And now we get to rest and get our charges back before the boss fight that we will probably die in. Okay. We'll grab the keys. Not that we need them anymore. Like, the barriers that you need to take down with them are already down. Alright. Put up our buffs. Sneak in. Are there any gear swaps I need to do right now? No. This is the gear set we're going to be using while fighting the elementals and such. We do want to use our epic moment while we're fighting the elementals, because it's not as useful against him. And we will fight in the earth elemental area. Okay. Good. We're all set.
I know why you have come. His voice. But you're too late. Using the arcane power of
I keep wondering if I should put the 3 points here for hide in plain sight if I'm going to be actually hiding. Despair and Carnage. That's not good. Let me hit the button. Alright, Despair down. Oh, knocked down by the air elemental again. Yay! Yay, air elementals. Air elemental down, and yeah, punched to death by the earth elemental before I could take down the others. Okay, well, we were thrown off a little bit by the initial issue of having the double Reaper spawn. We killed 2 elementals. Water is down to half-ish, and of course Earth is full because he was immune that whole time. So, what is the plan? The plan, well, we now get our 1 get out of jail free card of our Blade of Jack Gibbers, and we're going to use that to D-door out so that, you know, we're not on a 1-minute timer. So, alright, Gibbers. And I spun on the wrong element. I should have done that against the earth elemental, because we were standing in water. You cannot hurt them in the same element, so doing it on the water one while standing in water was the wrong decision. Now, the trick here is going to be, can I get through this doorway? Or will the dot interrupt me? Hooray, we made it through. And now we wait 20 seconds to die, then we wait another 40-ish seconds for our Reaper death timer to be gone, and then we'll be on our way to going fighting the boss again. Or at least fighting the ads before the boss again. Although, it shouldn't be too big of an issue because there's only 2 of them now. What I think this means as a lesson is I should fight in the water area because the one that was dealing me the damage was the earth one. Of course, that might just mean that the water one is the one that's dealing me damage, because I think the reason that he was the one that was hitting me the most is that the others were being crowd controlled. So perhaps it would have been better. We can mess around and experiment a little bit. I don't think I've used this rest shrine yet. I used the rest shrine, but I don't think I used the rest shrine. So we will use the rest shrine at this point. We might as well. We're not maxed on our... Yeah, okay, good. So unfortunately, our spell absorb only recharges 5 per rest shrine, so it's not even full at the moment. So this will get us up to 15, which is good. And there we go. A little bit of a scream to get some health back, and we're back on our way to fighting Falrinth. So we did manage R6. R8 is being a little more difficult, but, you know, that's to be expected. Being able to get dooms versus not have dooms is definitely a jump in difficulty. Of course, one thing we could do... Oh, okay. I forgot that I didn't kill this pack, that I ran by it. At least I didn't run straight up into it. Okay. I was worried that they were going to interrupt me and, like, kill me. Because that was a very real possibility. Okay. Back we go. Did I actually buy any resist pots, even like plus 10s? Protection from cold? Sure, why not? Fire shield, warm? Might be worth it. Alright. We don't need to be ready to fight when we walk through this door. There's a separate barrier that pops up when you aggro the boss. That's what we need to have all of our buffs and stuff ready for when we pass through. Alright, so we want to wait for this to come over here. Or wait for you to come over here. Oh, excellent. Perfect alignment. Oh no, the opposite. They're both I thought I was like, oh good, they're both out of their element. No, they were in fact both in their element. Why is he taking no damage? Alright, how about the water elemental comes over here then? Okay. Water elemental down.
We're just getting started. Creech, take care of that.
Okay, fortunately Creech is a little dumb and a little distracted. So we're going to hang out over here for a second and see if we can't heal up a little bit before we fight him. There we go. Creech, you are vulnerable to crowd control. You say that, but you're still standing up on a podium. Okay. The time has come for the boss plan. We are going to put on Spell Absorb. Throwing weapon. Swap in double throw for double strike. And that's it. Our plan is to run around strafing while engaging in ranged combat until we run out of charges on our Spell Absorb. Oh, actually, if he stands up there the whole time, this gets way easier. Oh, wow. Last time I engaged him with a ranged weapon, he came down and was chasing me around, and it made this much more difficult. Unfortunately, hitting him with these levels of damage is gonna take a while. I thought about potentially doing what? Potentially dropping into the Vistani node that gives you equal ranged power to your melee power. Except that once I swap weapons to this, I don't have my sentient weapon on anymore, which is where a lot of my melee power comes from. And most of the rest of the melee power comes from like epic levels, like just epic power. And it's like, my range power is like 180 versus melee power 210. Well, we can check it. No, it's 230 versus 170. Okay, yeah. So. Wait. Are you even throwing spells at me at this range? My spell absorb number isn't going down. Alright, so it looks like I can kill him, but that's because at this point this is just full exploit, and the point of seeing if I can do it isn't if I can do it like full exploiting while I'm immune. So let's at least get in range that he actually throws spells at us. So we can actually pretend that we're dodging something when we're strafing. But okay, we've discovered that, yeah, I could probably do this particular part on R10 eventually if I just stand at the back of the room and he doesn't, assuming he doesn't come down while we're fighting Creech, and he just kind of stays up there, then we could kill him from the back of the room without ever being in threat, because he would go through the spellcasting animation, but we would be out of range. It's interesting that because we still have the ring on, the raid ring for the acid dot, but he's got high enough resist that it's not doing anything to him. Like, our imbue dice are hitting for double damage. Our ring, that it was, in theory, very good as far as damage goes, is not doing almost anything. Come on, come down and fight me. Are you gonna come down and fight me once we get to, like, half health? Or are you just gonna stand up there throwing spells at me the whole time? Now, the trick is, I have had him get bugged like this, where he just stays up there and never comes down, when I was on a class that, like, didn't even have a ranged weapon. And let's be honest, I am currently on a melee class. Like, we are a dual-wield assassin rogue. Like, throwing a throwing dagger at him this whole time is not my preferred mode of combat. So, let's see. Will this work? Alright, we bluffed him. Is bluff enough to get him down off of his perch? No? We just still gotta keep fighting this way? I mean, okay. I'll win eventually, but it's annoying and cheap. It's not really the intent of this challenge run. But all that means is that if we've cleared it on R8, we have to just continue with what we said we were doing, which is if we clear it, the skulls go up by 2. So if he wants to be up there and not come down so I can fight him and probably die to him, then it looks like we're running R10 next. So far he has taken one charge off of the spell Absorb. By the great power that is strafing from someone who's just casting line spells at you. It does, however, take forever. We have just gotten him down to below half health. We don't have any ranged feats. We don't have point blank shot. We don't have rapid throw. We don't have anything. Well, okay, rapid throw is the name of this. We don't have, what is it, quick draw? Increases thrown weapon skill speed. We don't have quick draw. We don't have any ranged feats. We don't have any ranged, really any ranged anything. We're supposed to be hitting things with melee daggers, but you refuse to come down here so we can stab you in person. So we have to stab you from ranged. Okay. Alright, he did use his, like, elemental blast spell thing on me. I can tell because I lost, like, 4 charges of my, Of my spell absorb at once. Alright, I was trying to get in range so I could bluff him, so maybe I could get ranged sneak attack in. But if I recall correctly, ranged sneak attack range is the same as, like, point blank shot range, which is like 10 meters, and I don't know if I can do that. So, okay, we're gonna have a rematch in R10, and hopefully in R10 you decide to come down off of there and fight me, like, just straight up, face to face. I assure you, you will have a much larger chance of killing me than with this nonsense. What if I intimidate? If I intimidate, will you come down? No? Did I fail the intimidate? Well, I have to manage to, yeah, see, I don't think that I can sneak him. Like, because I don't think I landed the bluff. How about now? See, because I popped my epic moment, so I'm currently invisible. These should be sneak attacks. I have both of those. I'm like 37 points in the Shadow Dancer tree. You think I didn't get darkness? Oh wait, no, I'm getting... There we go. There we go. I started to get some. And it's gone. Oh boy. Okay. Now we might want to do things a little differently. I stopped strafing, and that was a bad idea, because I just ate a hit, like a single hit for 1200 damage. But yes, I have both improved deception and darkness. Or I did have improved deception. I'm pretty sure I still have improved deception. Not 100% sure though. I will recheck my gear for it, but I should have it. It might be that, like, I had duplicates of it, and then I was like, oh, I can take off this piece because I have it on multiple pieces. And then I thought that same thing for, like, both of the pieces that I had it on. You know what? If I wanted to check the like the status of darkness on him, I should have simply done this and brought it up.
Valrinth motions wildly.
Okay, well,
Invoke the
that was
cause,
anticlimactic,
but he never completes
but
the
that does mean
his fight.
it is time for R10, which is a terrible idea, but I said if we beat it, we were going up, so we're going up.
Chambers are dimly lit. On a if Falrinth's journal is to be believed, the demon Zugget
This
nearly
build
free.
was not made for solo R10s in mind, so we'll see how it goes. The answer is probably very badly, but we're gonna do a little bit of spec swapping around as well. Hey look, another set of those bracers. Yeah, that's the plan. Because I spec'd into this because like I thought I'd try it out. It seems pretty useless, so we're resetting this. We get that, we get that, we get that, we get that. This time we're getting this. We do want our haste boost back, obviously. We do want this. We don't care about that. We do want immunity to fear. We want that. We want that. We don't care about this because we have better from the top of Assassin. Oh. Interesting. So the trick is this is 1 and this is 2. So I now need something else to drop 1 point in. I thought favored weapons... I guess it's saving throws. I always think of it as favored weapon. Or a favored enemy, rather. But that's not useful. Because from what I understand, it's currently bugged. Alright, so that's all for that. I was going to respec something in here, too. Let's see. So yeah, I have Bring Darkness. I have Pierce the Gloom. Oh, that's right. I was going to respec this into the meld line to see that. Yeah, I mean, that is what it is, but I thought favored enemies were bugged and not working. That one. Alright, so we don't want Nightmare Lance. Do we want to take Shadow Strike ranged here? So I have the option of an epic strike that is ranged if he bugs again and is up there as an alternative, and we can use Quick Cutter for melee and this for ranged. Alright. Okay, so meld is 10, that's not bound. And then improved meld brings it up to 15. I'll take improved meld just for the hell of it. Yeah, I wanted to double check the numbers on meld to see how it compared. So if I wanted to use the melee one, because if I want to use the melee one, that's 15, which is a lot more than 6. Although Quick Cutter, of course, has its advantages of being like 360 degrees and all that sort of stuff. And its dot is huge. So yeah, but if we're going to use this, hopefully for boss DPS, then let's see, scaling off the higher of melee or ranged power, which should be the same. And this is Not useful. Not useful. And not useful. Okay, so we don't need this second upgrade. Bring darkness. There. We want that. We want that. We want this. I know, but actually, I didn't take it originally because it's like, I don't make anything helpless. But you're right. Gold Cursed is helplessness. There's nothing in my base kit that does it, but Gold Cursed does. Doesn't help on bosses, but it's good otherwise. Let's see, anything else over here I want to shift around? I don't think so. We've got all the cores. We've got extra stuff. We've got healing. We've got bypass. Like, we don't need displacement on action boost because we have action boost SLA. Okay. However, we are going to learn from our mistakes. We will go grab House P buffs, but we will also grab 20 resist pots from a potion vendor. The ones in the market don't sell 20s, but I think the ones in House P or House J do. I'll need to double check. Like, no one sells 30s, but you can buy 20s. Well, I say no one sells 30s. No one sells 30s for plat. You can get them for Evening Star Commendation turn-ins, I think. But we're going to head over to... You know what? I keep forgetting that Gatekeeper's Grove has an airship portal. Like, you can just go to the airship from there now. Alright. Refresh these, because why not? You take me to House P. And off we go. Like, that's the same reason I didn't take, what is it? The Epic Feat for more damage to helplessness. Because it's just like, I don't make anything helpless. Like, so it's not going to help. You need resist 30s? Probably not. I think 20s... If 20s don't do it, I don't think 30s will either. Because really the only elements I'm gonna really want them on are... what is this? Alchemical bonuses. Lesser impact. Alright, that's lesser. I do have a pair of those boots. Unfortunately, my boots are my constitution item, and if I take them off, I go from 3,000 to 2,550. So I've got about 500 health living on my boots. But I do have a set of those absorb boots from Myth Draenor. Okay, so these are not... You do not have resist potions. Scroll vendor, wand vendor. Do you have resist energy wand? I could trade that as well, although it's also my freedom of movement slot and 30 PRR slot. So if I do that, that would be a boss-specific swap. Also, I don't think I have Insightful Cons floating around. Can't you only get those during Remnant Hunter weekend? Well, actually, I can double check. Boots can have PRR for Moon Slot? I already have PRR for Moon Slot. I put a Moon Slot PRR in my belt. So I already have that for Profane. This is Artifact. Sorry, if I take my Spell Absorb off, it's Artifact. Store has 5 Insightful Con. That is true. Actually, I can check my bank for if I have a Con augment. Well, let's check here first. Show me... Diamond. Constitution. Yeah, I have a diamond of Constitution. The question is, where are those boots? Are they on a mule, or are they like in a bank? What is my Discord? That is true. I should make a command for that. Because I need to... Well, basically I need to actually set it up properly. I was just going in the other day and taking out some... Okay, where did I put it now? It has my own emblem on it. Why can I not see it? There it is. Do-do-do-do-do. Create event. No. Invite people. There it is. Copy. So yeah, I need to do the onboarding hidden use copy button. Thank you, Discord. I clicked the copy button. Discord, you need to behave yourself. For the love of God. Okay. Look at this nonsense. Let me go. There. So, invite people. Or send an invite link to a friend. Hidden. Use copy button. Copy. Now, ooh, let's send that to chat. Thanks, Discord. That's really useful. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe streamer mode was messing with it. Ah, that's what it was. If streamer mode is on, it won't even let me copy it. Oh, it did send an invite? There we go. That is my Discord. Oh, you meant Discord name. No, I have a Discord server that I've been meaning to use for the stream. I just haven't gotten around to setting up all of the channels that I will need to set up. And I haven't gotten the onboarding page. It does have a basic couple channels and like rules. So, and the rules are basically don't be an asshole. And if you think you're not being an asshole and the other person that you're interacting with does, believe them if they think you're being a dick. Now, you might be able to treat other people that way and they think it's fine, but for that particular person, if they say, hey, could you not treat me like this? Maybe don't treat them like that. I don't think that's too much for anyone to ask. Excellent. Now you're going to... Oh, you won't be hearing it. Excellent. Good job, me, on separating out my sound alerts. Okay, where were we going? We wanted to head to House J to grab some resist pots. Alright, where is... Alright, House of Wizardry, I think is scrolls, but they might have a potion vendor as well. Let's see, scrolls, scrolls, scrolls. Wands. Do you have resist energy wands? Remove curse, remove disease, repair, searing light, slow, suggestion, water breathing. No, you do not. If they're not in the next shop I look in, I'm going to the wiki, because I know they exist. I have simply forgotten where they are. Empty-handed. You have bags. Do you also have potions? Potion seller. Where are you, potion seller? All right. Our last stop is the one down at the base of the hill. Okay. Potion vendor. I require your best potions. I'm looking for resist potions. Okay, back to the wiki. Alright. Where are they? Portable hole. Evening Star. 12. Airship, Catacombs, Chronoscope, Amarath. Okay. Easy enough. It turns out you can get them from the, just from the arcane reagent vendor in the, in Evening Star. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I need your potions. So we're gonna get cold, we're gonna get acid, and we're gonna get fire. We don't care about electricity. And the reason for that is I've noticed that he doesn't always use the same fire shield. Sometimes he uses fire shield hot, sometimes he uses fire shield cold, and sometimes he uses fire shield... Oh, I forgot the rhyme. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it something 3 days old, but I forgot the something. Gatekeeper's Grove. Okay. We don't want to go to Wayloon. We want to go back to Temple. In the pit? In the pot. In the pot. Yes, it is. I'm assuming that was a typo. We don't like the pit here. I'm team pit hater. Which I know... Oh, we have ads in progress. That is good timing. That is excellent timing. No one has to miss anything. But okay, if you're not getting ads right now, congratulations on being subscribed or being on YouTube where I cannot control when the ads run. So we're going to toss to the BRB screen. I'll be back in 2-ish minutes, and we'll try R10. Okay, we should be back from ads. So let's get back to actually showing the game. Okay, we need to turn Shadow Form back on because we retrained that tree. We need to put our melee weapons back on. We need to pull out our haste boost again. Well, I don't know if we needed to do that. But we do want to bring out Rapid Slash, toss Rapid Throw over here, Venom Blades is fine. This is fine. Destiny stuff. Shadow Mastery is pulled out. Shadow Strike range needs to go on bars. Okay. That's good. Oh, that's very convenient that you had one just that you had sold. So let us make a quick run to a mailbox and take that generous donation. Because hey, if you're just going to vendor it for plat, I'll take it. Oh, that does remind me, we were going to check the bank for what? For my resist boots. Or my absorb boots, rather. Alright, time to go to the bottom of the airship. Cargo hold. I mean, I feel like I'm spending a lot of time just prepping, but by the same token... Excellent, thank you very much. But by the same token, we are about to attempt a solo R10, so I think that the some prep time is justified. And let's just get some random stuff in. Oh, I have the boots literally with me right now. That does make it convenient. So where were we? All right. Let's see if these are actually at the values that they say they are. All right, so we have a 12 and we have an insightful 5. Do I have profane melee power slotted? No. I have arcane, or not arcane. I have artifact melee power from a set. I have just baseline melee power, like the, I think it's a yellow augment, I think it's a topaz. I've got that one slotted, but I don't have profane. Now, where was my set of boots? Alright, you. So we'll definitely drop the 12 constitution here. Yes. Lunar. Lunar. Profane healing amp. Well, I don't have that slotted anywhere. Okay, so let us hotbar our boot swap. So let's see, what else do I lose off of this? Well, I lose 2 melee power, but that's fine. I lose speed of movement, and I lose fort saves. No, I've got one, thanks. I appreciate it, though. I think I will toss the insightful in. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. So, now we have warding. I'm going to put these here. I'm going to put them with the boot swap. All right. Gather. Gather. All right, so we have our resists. We have our weapons. We have our absorb boots. We have this to swap over. Okay. So this is all very, very much... So we have prep for the last boss. The trick is going to be getting to the last boss. Because as we found out previously, we just pulled an ML20 solar augment. Oh, interesting. So the new quests are being rolled out gradually, right? Like one released yesterday, and then we're getting a new one like every week or two for the next however long it takes to release all 4. Because I was on Tuesday, I was looking through assassinate items, and it's just like, oh, I could use this one. It's from this covered culvert. Ooh, where is that? And the answer is, not in the game. It's in fact not in the game yet. So yeah, I think it'll be a month before I would be able to even attempt to farm that. I forget it was a neck, I think. Interesting. +3 artifact bonus to intelligence on ML20. The question is, of course, what gear do you slot that into? Like, do you turn your level 13 Myth Draenor gear into required level 20 stuff? Do the new quests drop ML20 gear that we'd put it in? Because having a level 20 set is nice, but it's not quite the same as like the gear swap in the teens or the gear swap in the
strong winds circulating.
I suppose that's true.
Suggest that this is
But I thought the new quests were... What's the epic level on them? 28? I thought it was 28.
This area of the temple once housed those faithful to the air temple.
Oh, first is 28? Are they different levels? I'm so used to them releasing packs these days that are all the same level. Skyborn. Oh, you guys want to split up? That's fine with me. Nothing? Not even a miss? Okay. Oh, they are going to have different levels. Interesting. They heard me. Oh! I'm not as worried about archers because you can strafe them, and oh, gee, it only heals for 100 in combat now. And I have deflect arrows. Okay. Well, it's just like I saw the like little red stuff by my feet. So it's just like, oh, something hears me. And then the door opens and the Reaper and the gargoyles come out. It's just like, oh no. Okay. All right. Let me just remind myself what changes I made that I'll be playing around. We have a ranged attack. That won't matter for this fight. We switched to... We didn't switch anything here. We didn't switch anything here. Yeah, we only really switched this. We traded that for that. And yeah, we traded that and that for that. And we have a ranged attack now. That's all we changed there. And here, we changed having a bleed for having ranged attack. And nothing else changed here. Okay, so nothing I will have to play around for this next encounter.
A man in air temple robes stands huddled in the
Alright,
corner.
so does the trigger happen when we get the DM voice or when he aggroes? I don't see anything spawn, so it must be when he aggroes. Yep. There are the Mephits spawned. Alright, now we're at full health. Fail to save against harm, 1500. Ooh, boy. Oh, he's right up on me, too. Okay, well. We have life sealed, right? Show me absorb elemental defenses. Show me negative absorb. I have 53% negative absorb, and he's landing harms for 1400. Good lord. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll use spell resist against him. If he's going to be mostly casting harm, and it's harming me a lot. We're going to wait 5 seconds for our stacks to build up. Oh, ow. Hold up. Hold up a sec. Does that not count as a spell? So, you can't see this. I'm going to drag this out. Count of the prefix inflict critical wounds. Hit you for 604. Meanwhile, my spell absorb cloak has absorbed nothing. So, apparently inflict critical wounds is not a spell. I thought I was going to get away. I was at like 50 health after he hits me for like 1900 twice. Plus 32. What's the save on it? None of my saves should be as low. Is it a pure int save? That can't be right. Where's where he attacks me? This is what I was saying before about that it's hard to find what's incoming when you're dual wielding, because there's just so many. You sneak attack, you hit. Ah, here it is. Hits you for 1989 points of slash damage. I should have waited until my Shadow Mastery was off cooldown. We only had like 30 seconds on it. There we go. See, this is where it would be cool to, say, have undead form, because then his harms wouldn't do anything. Of course, he would still be able to melee me for 2000, but that's a different issue. A separate issue. Aha! We made it through the door.
This chamber is much warmer than the outside. On the end,
Well, I'm body blocked.
Just
Okay. We had just enough health to live until we die from gibbers. Alright, and this is why we brought potions instead of relying on P-buffs. Ooh, this is odd. You have multiple effects granting an enhancement bonus to sneak speed that do not stack. Faster sneaking 50, faster sneaking 75, and faster sneaking 25. So, are all three of these active at the same time? 125, 150, 175? Or is this supposed insight bonus to sneak speed not actually insight typed? And that's where the 25 is coming from. And while we're here, using the shrine, we might as well walk over here and grab ourselves a key.
This is a small, cracked basin. Come, the cleric called. Your tribute honors us. The
There we
prefix
go.
says thou. Soon, all will bend the knee to fire, or die in their stubbornness.
Alright, so we are down like 700 health. So we'll wait like 20 seconds for a level to come back. And then we go through this door. We know there's a pack on the other side. No big deal. Actually, I didn't need to do that. Just going through the door is going to heal me. Okay. Excellent. We got past them with no real troubles. Wait a second. How much does this give? Wait, this says 20. But I could have sworn I saw in the combat log that it says 25. Of course, it gives you nothing if you don't hit anything, so won't be able to know that for sure until we try it out. Huh. Well then. It did eat 2 charges of my spell absorb. But given how hard he's hitting, I don't think that's worth it when A, the harm spells get through, and B, I lose my set bonus 30 PRR for putting that cloak on. So let's just not do it that way. Alright. Having him right at the doorway is really annoying. I mean, I guess I could kite him away and then like D-door to move him, but there we go. Move him a little bit. So now I can at least like get back into stealth when I walk through the door. Maybe, hopefully. Well, at least I wasn't fighting him when I ate the 8-second stun from Symbol of Stunning. Plus 39. Yeah, my saves are bad. Like, really bad. Like, do I even have a resistance item on bad? And I think the answer is no, I don't have a resistance thing on. So, let's double check that for a second. No, not that. It's a sapphire, right? Okay, I dropped all of those in the bank, not in my bags. So I can't call an audible on that, so to speak. Alright, I do have improved Uncanny Dodge for this next go round. Okay. Alright, a lot of hit and run tactics on this guy, because he hits like an absolute truck. The good news is, I am getting a little better at using defensive tumble, because I managed to get him to be hitting me for like 1500 instead of 2000 by, you know, dodge rolling. Let's see, what are we at as far as cooldowns go? We do have Shadow Mastery up in, let's see, if the whole thing is 5 minutes, that's what, 20 seconds or so? And this is, what, a 2-minute cooldown, so that's 30 seconds or so. Alright, we'll go through when this is ready. Okay. Nope, we're not going to stand at that symbol of stunning. Normally the symbol of whatever spells aren't very good, but my saves are low enough that they're good against me. I made another save. I don't know what spell he was casting on me, but I probably wasn't going to like it. The good news is he's at very low health. So we're going to reload our spells, and we're going to our buffs, and we're going to go back in. We have improved Uncanny Dodge this time, so we should be good to go as far as defensive cooldowns.
You search
Okay.
carefully, but you
He's
don't
down.
find the air temple key.
The first major hurdle has been passed. I don't know if there's any mephits alive in there. I don't think there are. But, out of an abundance of caution, we're going to wait until we can Primal Scream once more to get our health back up to something that is out of the one-shot range of everything in here. Hooray! Alright. And
On the
now,
wall above this rune is a small etching in the shape of a key.
we are definitely not going to fight the red-named demon. We are definitely dimension dooring, so we don't have to deal with that. Now let's see. The other place that we died last time was on the elemental phase of the boss.
The air temple key sits
So
behind
for
the
that
arrow
part,
on the
I
altar.
believe that we're going to
A
attempt
note
to
wind circling
fight
the room
them instead
rush
of
faster as
there.
the
We're
key
going to
is
fight
taken
them
from the altar.
where we fought them in the Earth quadrant last time. This time, we're going to fight them in the Water quadrant. So I think we'll take a lot less damage if we can keep our Earth elemental, well, crowd controlled. Excuse me. Oh, and I'm body blocked. Okay. So we are actually going to go and use this rest shrine to restore our action boost charges. Yes? No? Maybe? No. No, we don't need it. We'll use the one in the water shrine. Because the only thing we're going to fight in the water shrine here is maybe some gargoyles. Maybe. And the other thing I need to do is on the earth elemental for the elemental phase, I need to use Assassin's Trick on it. Now, it might not need it, because Darkness should also get rid of the sneak attack immunity. But, you know, might as well.
As you
Pour
fill
the vial into the shrine.
the barrier disappears.
Hopefully don't get one shot by the Famine Reaper. Excuse you. Thank you.
The room begins to shake, and a shimmering wall appears.
Well, we'll see if that killed the Reaper or not. Actually, we won't see if that killed the Reaper or not, because we're not going back in that room. Also, I forgot to use the shrine, so we're going to go use the Fire Shrine. And we'll see if that does it for us. You have never done any Temple of Elemental Evil? You should try it, it's a fun time. In particular, the lower half is significantly more difficult than the upper half. When they redid it, the upper half is actually really good XP in Heroics now. Like, similar to Shadow Crypt levels, if you have a group. Because this, particularly this quest, if you split, so like one person comes here, one goes to water, one goes to air, and then you meet up at the end, and obviously you're doing Heroics, you're doing R1, you're not at the same sort of difficulty that we're looking at here for this run on solo R10 in Legendary. You can like blitz through the quest in like 5 minutes, and it's like 40,000 XP or something ridiculous. Because it's a level 8 quest. The thing is, he might actually be able to one-shot me if he ever gets unfrozen. Because, oh yeah, especially now that he's below half health. Nope, not quite. He tried it though. He certainly tried it. 1800. So Arborians are one of the champion types that does a bunch of extra damage. If you saw that like white effect on him happen, that happens when they get below half health, and it coincides with them basically powering up and hitting a whole lot harder. That is Reapers and stuff. We're not going to do it. If I were going to do it, you do it at endgame for the Reaper XP. Doing Temple for Reaper XP is not generally something you would do. If you're looking for Reaper XP, there are way easier, better, safer ways of getting it. All right, what do we have here? We have gargoyles. Okay, alright, out we go. That's true. It does compete with, well, it competes more with Dread and Vaughn and stuff than those, because in Heroics they are level 8 now. So I tend to do them immediately after I do Dread. So I pulled 2 groups there, which is why we ran away. You don't even do Isle of Dread in Heroics. Interesting. Do you run pots? Or what else do you do at that level range? Get some dark consumption going. All right. So I don't think I led them all the way up to this doorway, but they're going to be, some of them are going to be close. Demon Soul, Skyborn, Stone Guard. Okay. You know what? Alright, one moment. Oh, interesting. You go... Alright, so the only level 7 quest you hit is Sentinels? Oh, and then you do a lot of repeat runs on, Oh, interesting. And you do repeats on the Sands walk-ups. Huh. I didn't think Sands walk-ups were that much XP that they were worth repeating. But I will note that some builds I don't really want to hit Isle of Dread with, because Isle of Dread is significantly more difficult. So if the build doesn't have the oomph to clear it quickly, then Isle of Dread becomes less compelling as an option. Oh, repeat Sovereign Pass, not Sands. Okay. So you do all of Necro too. That's also interesting.
The stony visages in this room suggest this is the entryway to Falrinth's chambers.
Alright. It's time to prepare. Where is our wand? Alright, you want acid? And we want cold. Just the Shadow Crypt. Okay. And fire. That's what we wanted. Alright.
The wizard following floats high above this chamber.
Okay, so we're gonna try to fight in this corner this time.
His voice.
But you're too late. Using the arcane power of the page I discovered, Zuggitmoy is nearly free. He makes a gesture, and elementals appear.
Alright. I just need you to come over here. Oh, knockdown, not great. Okay. All right. We were down to like 1,000 health, so we ran away. We will go back and try again. This is why it's super advantageous to have Dimension Door. So it's just like, wait, no. Back it up. Back it up. Let's heal up and try again. Because I know we got some decent damage in before it became, well, simply too much to handle. But yeah, I will note that it looked like I was taking a decent amount of damage from elemental effects as well. I took like an 800 from frost, I took like a 700 from fire. But I'm not taking as many big hits as I was before with the earth elemental. So I think it was the correct choice to fight in the water quadrant instead of the earth quadrant. And obviously the fire quadrant's right out because you're standing in lava, and the air quadrant is likewise out for a similar reason to the fire one, or for a reason that applies to the fire one as well, which is once two of them die, well, Creech spawns, and I don't want to fight him plus the two remaining elementals, so we're going to kind of hide in the back of the room and avoid that situation entirely. Alright, buff that, and sneaking. Okay. Fire elemental is nearly dead, water elemental is full, air elemental is low. Alright, earth down. Fire down.
We're just getting started.
Now we fight over here.
Preach. Take care of
Oh, knocked down by the air elemental, as is to be expected of an air elemental. They are bitches. Please, I would appreciate it if you would just stay frozen. I need to try to make sure I keep using the actives that have extra crit chance on them, because, at least according to the tooltip, the Gold Curse Dagger is not on hit. It is on crit, specifically. Okay. Alright. That part is complete. Now the switch over. Switch this to here. Switch these. So we switch to the weapon. We switch to the boots. We switch to this ring. We switch to Spell Absorb. Alright. So we have our resists. We have more MRR. We've dropped PRR for it. We have Absorb from the boots. We dropped some health, but not that much health. It is time to aggro the boss. Well, the bonus damage from the Epic Strike is nice. By which I mean it basically doubles our damage. Because that's the Bane damage that you can see there. And it appears that if you fight from this far back, he doesn't come down at all. So let's try making this a slightly fairer fight and not just completely exploitative. And move up to here, where we might have to actually strafe to avoid his spells. Yeah, there we go. Now he's actually casting spells at us. We're still not getting sneak attack dice, though. Actually, let's back up a step, where it's safer, so we can do this. So we can track the debuffs. Or the buffs. Alright, so we put up Fire Shield. Which one is this? Okay, so that's the icon for darkness. Got it. However, because our attack speed is so low, we're not really getting a lot of procs on it. Okay, so he has darkness stacks on him. Let's hit our epic moment and see if we can get sneak damage. Alright, I'm still not seeing sneak damage. Still not seeing all my sneak dice damage. Maybe I should try to bluff him. There we go. Is he bluffed? Did we make it? I think we failed our bluff. So, well, I think now at least I know the source of the bug where he doesn't come down. It looks like it happens if you ever engage him from too far away. I need to back up. I'm not getting sneak dice anyway, so at least we should move to far enough back that we can at least dodge the line spells. Snooze the ad. An ad was going to start in like 30 seconds. Why? It's like, wait, why was my health higher there? Which temporary buff did I pick up that put me over 4K? Wait, what's this buff? Harmful effect. Ah, he's been cursed with shadow loss. Of course. Well, the Dark Imbuement has made a big difference in our ability to actually deal damage to him, because it's basically doubled our damage. Now, we are in slightly more danger now, because we are out of Spell Absorb. So really all it takes is me not dodging, like, essentially one Black Dragon Bolt, and I might die. Because once the dot is on me, it's going to do a lot of damage. And unfortunately, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Yep, see, all it took was one hit to take out half of my health. And that's with using defensive cooldowns. That's with using dodge roll to reduce damage 20%. That's with using Primal Scream to reduce damage by 15%. And yeah, neither of those last for all of the ticks, but still. So it looks like I don't even have the choice of fighting him melee anymore. Like, once he's been engaged at long range, he just stays there. Which is somewhat disappointing. The true boss was apparently the Air Temple guy the whole time. Because this guy is getting cheesed. Because I don't even have the option of not cheesing him anymore. I tried walking like straight up below him, and he still didn't come down to fight me hand to hand, so this is our fallback position, I guess. There we go. I kept wondering what the like cyclone effects were on him, but that I believe is a proc from my weapon because it's the Fey Twisted throwing dagger from the raid there, from the Dryad raid. I forget what it even does. Probably some small amount of damage. All right, just die already. You're a massive disappointment. I made all these preparations, and then you just kind of sat up there as a shooting gallery for me to very, very, very slowly chip away at.
Valrinth motions wildly, attempting to
Well,
complex
I guess that's one way to beat R10.
never completes the gesture.
Not the most satisfying way, to be honest. But, you know, we beat some Despair Reapers, we beat the other red-named guy who is, you know, hitting us for half of our health.
The demon Zuggetmoy has nearly been freed.
So, I'll take it. I didn't intend to do R10 anyway, but here we are. We managed it. How long did it take? Oh, probably 45 minutes? Yep. 43, 45. For 3,000 Reaper XP. Because we're on Ransack. But yeah, it's, alright. That took forever. And I learned how to, hopefully, how to avoid bugging him on lower difficulties, which is to make sure to, like, I guess body pull him, like walk up to him so that he comes down for you. Also, we have ads starting. I'm going to run... We're going to be running the elemental nodes. Why ransack it? Because it was a challenge run. I was increasing skulls every time I beat it, and we just beat R10. So, success. No, we weren't ransacking for gear. We got the XP ransack penalty. So yeah, we're going to clear these nodes on R1, and then we're going to try to kill Zagathmoy. So I am going to start clearing these during the ads, just because the nodes themselves are not as interesting. We mostly just want to get to Zagathmoy, because that fight is a lot more chaotic and a lot less controlled than what we just did.
The sound of cracking stone echoes around you as you are transported into the
Alright,
elemental node.
stone tablet. Gate beacon.
The sound of small crashes constantly echo through the caves as small stones break loose from the ceiling above.
Hi, could you not... Wait, are you immune to the insta-kill effect? That sucks. Oh, wait. I need to switch my, my hotkeys back. Alright, we need to put up acid resist. Acid resist. Alright, follow the swirly things. I keep thinking I have to be careful, but I really, really don't. I like two-shot everything, and the temp health is enough to keep us alive. The only real concern here is stuff like the oozes and the rust monster damaging weapons. So now we get back to the entrance. And hey, the crowd control sticks on things longer too. So that makes that easier as well. And back we go to the entrance. Oh look, swirly green thing. That means we're on the right track. Hello, Umber Hulks.
Felt through the floor, as if the entire cave complex were starting to shake.
There we go.
Giant crystals loom out of the darkness, revealing the massive scale of the cavern.
Don't mind me. Just making my way through. Come on. Thank you. They move clockwise. If anyone was wondering, it's like, how did you know which way it was going? Clockwise.
The sound of
That's the way it's going.
sounds reverberates all around you.
There we go. Alright, so this is the second. I'm torn between, like, just getting the optional for not waking the dragon. Not that it helps any, it's just extra XP. Versus, checking the dragon chest. Not that I don't think there's actually anything in the dragon chest that I would want. Like, there's Epic Elemental Bloom, but I already have one of those. So, that's not super compelling. we go. Continuing to be clockwise.
As the cavern ceiling drops
There
ever
we
lower,
go.
you can almost feel the oppressive weight of the stone.
Just casually turning things into gold as we walk by. Get rid of a little bit of that dungeon alert. How much double impact do I have? 93. Oh, I didn't check it in time. Oh, I do, okay. I lost double strike somewhere. But yeah, okay. So the tooltip is correct. The combat log is wrong, because the combat log says it's 25, and the tooltip and stuff says it's 20. And the character sheet also says it's 20, so that's the one I'm going to believe. IOD does have dino bones, yeah. And actually my dagger was from a named optional chest too. Well, one of my daggers, that is. There we go. Alright, Earth cleared. What is that, 7? Yeah, 7-ish minutes. So we should have time to get a couple runs at Zoggoth Moy. Alright. Fire node. And I know that I'm doing these in like a random order, like Earth then Fire is just like,
Washes over you.
why? Like, I don't know.
To the elemental node.
It's the first one I looked at, so that's what we're doing. Alright, we do that, we do this. Oh, and we might as well. It was a gift after all. Gotta put it to good use. That is a Fear Reaper. Yeah, it is just left. Okay. Ooh, look. Another Fear Reaper. As we go down. Is there one this way? There is one this way. There we go. And this, the fire node in particular, is a really good one to have evasion for, because a lot of the stuff that gets thrown at you in here can be evaded. So it's very nice in that respect. And this is also something to take into mind if you are going to use this in your heroic leveling path, is that some of these are more suited to certain characters than others. And in particular, Fire Node, very well suited to characters that have evasion. I'm actually surprised that I can't see most of this stuff. I mean, I guess I don't have a spot item currently slotted, so I guess it makes sense that I'm not spotting everything, but I have decent spot. See, I've been starting to use, at least in this difficulty, use shout as kind of an offensive thing. Oh. Oh, it looked like Restream had an issue, but I think it's been resolved, maybe? I don't know, it's possible that I'm going to miss some chats here in a moment if it's not working correctly. This is the weird thing about streaming. Everyone becomes technically inept because you're basically working with, like, at a minimum, like, 4 different systems that are, like, talking to each other. And it's very easy for, like, one or more of them to just misbehave at any particular moment. So we'll see if it's anything major that's misbehaving, or if we can just ignore it. Chances are I'll just ignore it anyway. If it is what I think is misbehaving, then there are workarounds that I can use. There we go. All right. That's 3. All right. Off we go. So yeah, if you haven't done Temple of Elemental Evil before, and therefore you're not like me, because I already know where to go to find those 4 locks to unlock, you're going to be looking for something to follow. And I kind of half pointed it out in the last 2, but I'll point it out more explicitly in the next ones, so that you'll know exactly what to look for. I think I referred to it as like the swirly. In this one it's red, in the last one it was green, in keeping with the colors of that particular elemental node.
As you enter this chamber, an intense blast of heat nearly drives you to your knees.
Get back here. I need to wait until you get below 30% to use the execute. Oh, that was fast. I must have landed a couple hits in a row. Or a couple crits in a row, rather. Alright. Yay, medium armor! The least popular kind of armor. Because evasion is so strong. Except I've actually heard from people in chat here, that the newer raids that have come out have been pretty good for medium armor users, because there's a lot of unevadable elemental damage, so you really want the higher magic resist cap. Now, I've only been to the newer raids like once each, so I can't really speak to that either way. Excuse me? Did you bug? Where's your tablet? Alright, we're resetting and trying again, because the tablet apparently chose not to spawn this time. At least it's at the very beginning. Reset. There it is. Why was it not there last time? I don't know. Alright. This has a different kind of swirly thing. These are like jets that make you move faster in the water. But once we get out of that, okay. We're just going to keep moving forward. Alright, off we go. Oh look, another swirly thing. 2, actually. We'll take this one first. The water temple is more annoying to navigate than the others, I'll be honest. And while I find the type of enemies in Air Temple the most annoying, just traversing the water is... It's the most annoying one for just moving around in. Now, once you come into this room, you get attacked by these water elementals. There you go. You must kill the water elementals. Okay, we'll smack down the Plague Reaper too. And then a portal opens. We go through the portal, and we're good to go. And that brings us back here, where we jumped down before. Yeah, that's... Stacked and layered defenses are pretty much the way to go, I agree with you. Now, I haven't gone anywhere near that far on getting my defensive stats in line. Most notably, my reflex saves are pitifully low, far from where they should be. But that can be resolved with perhaps some different gearing. But I mean, I do have evasion, I do have displacement, I do have incorporeality. So that's where most of my defenses are coming from. A lot of them are coming from being in the Shadow Mantle. Because I have 25% incorporeal, I have 75% like displacement, like concealment. And of course, I am at, I think it's 32 standing dodge. Yep, another one of those. So yeah, I'm at, sorry, 34 standing dodge, but with using either Quick Cutter or Meld into Darkness, that's either like +6 or +15. So basically, anytime I'm actually fighting, I'm going to be at 40+. Yeah, see, we have a swirly thing here that shows us this is the way to go. So we dive down, go through this. And then there's one over here, so we go through this one. So what are you on, a Sacred Fist or something? Because they get a lot of different kinds of defenses, I know. Did I jump out at the wrong place? I think I did. Ah, no, I just got turned around. Yeah, this way. We're following the swirly thing. You'll note that I got lost, I turned around, and I spotted the swirly thing to guide me in the right direction. Ah, I see. Right. And this one also gives you a teleport after you activate it. So you could try to swim all the way back against those currents, but really, you want to just take the teleport. Okay. So you're mixing two archetypes, the monk archetype and the paladin archetype. I forget what the max possible standing dodge is. It's something ridiculous, like 90 or something. But it requires, like, giving up everything else. I think there are practical builds that still have somewhere up in, like, the 50-ish range. Though maybe it's not standing dodge, it's sustained dodge. Because, like, Meld into Darkness would count as sustained dodge, because the buff lasts 10 seconds, and it's on an 8-second cooldown. So that's 15 dodge that ignores dodge cap right there, if you wanted to do things that way. Okay. So we have full Vuln stripping. We have darkness on them. There we go. Something cast exhaust on me, which is super annoying. This is like more like 10 minutes? No, only 7. Okay. Oh, and the Sork archetype, yes, all 3. I wasn't even paying attention. Did I get anything in there? Oh, a docent. I don't care about the docent. Just all the archetypes. So, I'm guessing that the Sacred Fist is mostly for the defensive tree, and the Elemental or the Wild Mage is for the, like, character level equal caster level, because you're a split and you want to be casting. And then the Dragon Disciple is because you want it to be mainly Dragon Disciple. And Keybolt, actually. Okay. Get back here, you dumb wisp. If you'll excuse me, I would like at some point to not be completely helpless. No? No, you're just going to alternate it so it's permanent lockdown? Okay, well, that was annoying. Oh, so you're the iconic Wild Mage as well. I think the iconic is the one that gets the elemental stripping, isn't it? Or is that all of them? I haven't played mine yet. It is right. Okay. Good. I can sometimes remember what other people have told me about things. Let's see. Which side? There it is. So you're looking for this lightning ball in this one, for which tunnel is the right one to go down. And I made the mistake of jumping, and now I get to float in the air for a while. This is why we take fear immunity, because getting feared is super, super annoying. Oh look, a glowy lightning ball. We must be on the right track. And we're just getting kicked around. So key bolt, but not the big key wave thing? Or do you not have enough levels in Sacred Fist to have the key wave thing? Oh, you got caster levels from Earth Savant as well. Interesting. What is this? Crushing Despair. Okay. I thought it was an exhaust effect, but it is not, which is good. Exhaust effects are highly annoying. I see. Once again, glowing lightning ball showing us which one we want to head to.
Strong winds in this area.
All right, we are now at yellow alert. Now we're at orange. So let's back up a step. Knockdown failure, balance failure, balance failure, knockdown failure. Keybolt to proc the mantle. Okay. Wait, so what does it do when it's... If that's the only thing you have that procs the mantle, what else are you using? Like, if you're casting other spells, wouldn't the other spells also proc the mantle? Or, wait, it's a melee build? Because you said it gives you a strong ranged option. That implies that you wouldn't have a strong ranged option without it.
Feel as light as a feather.
Mantle procs on the spells and SLAs also. It's about the ranged option. Okay. Alright. I'm not particularly familiar with how that class works at all in the first place, since I haven't played it at all yet, or looked into it that deeply, so I'll have to check it out at some other time. But I thought it didn't get a lot of its own special spells. I thought it mostly pulled from existing spells. Like, you know, it's got Delay Blast Fireball, but not, but not Meteor Swarm and stuff like that. Okay, so it has those spells in the spell book, but they don't have the normal range on them? Interesting. Alright, and here's the last little lightning ball that tells us where to go. And this time we're going straight ahead, because we are following the shiny ball. There we go. Now we just need to go fight the boss, and then we can go to the main event, which is Zuckathmoy, which is going to be difficult. Quite difficult, in fact. Hey, I have enough move speed to actually make that jump. For some reason I thought you needed a leap to make it, but it looks like you're fine as long as you have enough move speed. There we go. Ah, okay. Interesting. So they are like those other spells, but they operate on a different range. Quite the niche. Well, they did do a lot for the blast shape diversity actually mattering when they redid them like 2-3 years ago, I want to say. Because before, they were pretty clear like winners as far as what is the best as far as scaling goes. But they kind of, they did kind of unify the scaling across the board. So now like cone and chain scale the same amount and stuff like that. Like the only one that scales more is the single target one, which makes sense. All right, we're gonna start on R4. Yeah, being melee and having to go chase stuff down does definitely get annoying.
Zuggetmoy begins.
We'll take this route. We have enough search to pull it off. Go. Only need the one. There we go. Fire affinity. That'll go a long way to making this easier. Assuming I don't die. I forget if this lasts through death or not. I mean, ideally I don't die at all in the first place, but... yeah. We don't always get to live up to our ideals. There we go. So we've got the double red name fight coming up here. Which they are casters, which means they'll probably hurt a lot, but we'll see what we can do. It's R4, so they'll hurt, but, you know, it's only R4, so they're not going to hurt that much.
As you enter the lofty main hall of the Greater Temple, you see
they're only orange names. Can I assassinate?
Standing guard over its altar.
Okay, yeah. They don't have enough health for me to be too worried about them. Oh, that's a lot of oozes. And a Carnage Reaper, who hurts a lot. This chest should still have named stuff in it. We're gonna leave those slimes behind. filtered, cleansed. All right.
This appears to be a large
Off we go.
shrine. An intricate rune is emblazoned on a raised dais in front of the sealed door. This bronze door has had its magic wards removed, just like the others you've found in the temple.
Okay, grab the fungus. Alright, put up the buffs. The question is, which gear set do we use for this fight?
Almost every surface of this vast hall is covered in mushrooms.
Because, like, there's a decent argument to be made for switching to the absorb boots.
Is a strange twisting throne that appears to have
But that also loses me a lot of other stuff. We'll try it with the absorb boots.
must be near. A tall figure commands the center of the room.
So the problem with this is probably going to be the red-named demon in the third wave of ads.
Says Zugget Moy.
You took the arcane page he had found. No matter. I have a page of knowledge. I have used it to open the last
Man, she is a healthy woman. Or plant woman thing. Oop. I need to remember to be constantly using my heal. Because I will not last without it. Like, she will just gradually chip me down if I'm not paying attention and topping myself up regularly.
Suddenly fill the air around you. Strange mushrooms spring
See that big burst of elemental damage? That's the same spell Falrinth has.
Calling on his demonic powers, Zugget prepares a devastating attack.
Yeah, it's not looking good. So these things drop your healing amp, so they basically just make you take a lot less healing. Alright. Yeah. I just don't have enough healing to last through her shelling me with all of these spells and the constant dot. Yep, this build is not a good one for Zugget, just not enough healing to go around. At least not on R4. We'll drop it to easy mode because we're getting towards near the time that we're going to end stream because we failed R4. Just the opposite of succeeding, where we would go up to. We will go down to after having managed to not get it. So, Gatekeeper's Grove. We're going to go back, see if we can't take down Zugathmoy on R2. We should be able to. But it looks like it was the correct idea to wear the Absorb boots, given how often she does the 4-element blast spell. It was taking just huge chunks off of my health. I can only imagine it would take that much more if we weren't wearing a bunch of Absorb.
You have finally reached the innermost precincts.
And yes, I'm aware that we haven't refilled our spell points or our health or any of our cooldowns, but that is fine. That is not a concern. Note, we have lost respect for our enemies now that we are in R2 instead of R4. We can just come through here and be like, yes, yes, I know, you are very scary. No, no, I'll totally respect you. We won't. The answer is we will not actually respect them. Oh look, a lost soul. Hey, we have spell points again. And we're maxed out. Now, obviously, we're going to want to shrine before the Zugathmoy fight to get our haste boost charges back. But besides that, no real things to worry about. Even if we did hit the oozes some, our weapon durability I don't think is in a whole lot of danger.
Enter the lofty main hall of the Greater Temple. You see two armored clerics standing guard at its altar.
Yeah. The difference between R4 and R2 is substantial. Alright, so it looks like our dagger is starting to get a little worn. Go. All right.
This appears to be a large shrine. An intricate rune is emblazoned on a raised dais in front of the sealed door. This bronze door.
All right. So as we said, we do want to actually rest at this shrine, because we want our charges of our haste boost back. Okay, and we can put our buffs back up. We can take our trapping ring off. We will keep our resist boots on, which does drop our physical resist. But we should be fine. I think most of the damage we were taking was from Zugathmoy herself with all the blasting spells at us.
Grown from the floor itself, Zugathmoy must be near. A tall figure commands the center of the room.
Okay. Unfortunately, we do not have, demon queens of fungi in our monster manual. Oh wait, no, we do. Okay. So she's got 500,000 health. So this is 30%, so once she's below 150. At least they did make it easier to do those. So before they redid these, in order to take the debuffs off of yourself, you had to click on the mushrooms. And they have changed it to simply needing to touch them, so basically to get close enough to them. Where's the poison shroom? There's the poison shroom.
Caustic spores suddenly fill the air around you. Strange mushrooms spring from the ground. Zuggetmoy calls
There we go.
forth demonic minions to aid them.
We are managing to keep up on healing a little bit more this time, which is nice. We won't be able to keep doing it if we don't actually do this sort of thing. Like, we're keeping up on healing, I say, as I am letting the debuff stack even higher than, much higher than I should let it. It's like, oh, I'm keeping up. It's like, won't be for long. Right, we will kill the Carnage Reaper, even though it is currently golden. So we are saving our epic moment for the last set of ads. Go. Move the debuff. Wait, where's the poison shroom? So this guy can actually really screw you over here, because he has a knockdown ability on him. And if he throws the knockdown on you at the same time Zuggetmoy is doing her big insta-kill attack, you kind of just die. Fortunately, there's a way to counter this, and it's called have deflect arrows. So we do have deflect arrows, so we are not vulnerable to that particular 1-2 insta-kill punch. Alright, we need to remove this dot. There we go. Hi. Move the dot. Manage to not die. Remove the healing debuff. Again, in attempting to not die. We are falling a little bit behind on healing because we haven't been diligent about removing the debuff. There we go. We did manage it though. So we could probably manage R3, but I think that's going to be enough temple for one evening.
Then she crumbles in a shower of desiccated spores.
Legendary emblem of elemental evil.
Treasure.
I wear the heroic one for a lot of heroics.
You find
Basically from level 8 onward until level 20. Just because having flat elemental resist is pretty effective in heroics. Granted, it's 5, not 15. If the heroic one were 15, that would be, well, way more powerful. But, alas, it is not. So that should wrap things up for stream tonight. So we managed to solo up to R10, Temple of Elemental Evil. At least, the upper Temple of Elemental Evil, not the lower. And then we got Zuggetmoy on R2, which is not great, but I forgot just how much unavoidable damage there is, and This character just did not have enough healing to keep up with that, or at least not in this spec. It's entirely possible I could maybe switch that Epic Destiny for Sacred Defender or something and keep Renews on myself, but that becomes somewhat of a different build. Where were we? Alright, so we were coming here. I wanted to collect all the stuff. Alright, so we don't really have much of a raid, so we're not going to look for our raid target tonight. But for everyone who is still here and who has hung out through the, we'll say, difficulties of this evening, I appreciate you for being here. If you enjoyed the stream and you would like to see more, you can do the free things like follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube, or if you really like it, you can do the paid thing with subscribing on Twitch or whatever the equivalent is on YouTube. I don't even think I have it enabled on YouTube, which is fine. But yes, thank you all for hanging out, and our next scheduled stream is on Tuesday.